Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again with another and our final Whizbang's Workshop card review, where we have the final 3 Death Knight cards to go over. Hand buff Death Knight. They're really trying to make it work. We're going to see if it works, as these cards, at least a couple of them or all of them, will need to play a part in that. And if you want to win these cards or any of the other cards in the expansion, we have a giveaway going on for 4 mega bundles. 2 regular pre-orders out of my pocket. To enter that giveaway, like and comment in the video, link in the description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. This is your last chance to enter, and if we manage to hit 80,000 subscribers by the end of the day, I will add 2 more mega bundles. So hit that sub button, make me go baroque. So starting off, we have a new Unholy card, or requires only 1 rune, the Shambling Zombie Tank, a 2 mana 3/2 undead mech. It has taunt, battle cry. You spend 5 corpses to summon a copy of this, so that's a lot just to get another 3/2. So the idea with this card is you really need to hand buff it up, and there's some new hand buff spells this expansion. There's some that have already been around. Just getting, like, I would say probably like +2/+2 on this would be pretty worth. Getting like 2 5/4s can be pretty nice. It's a corpse spender for your necrotic the 10 mana spell. I can never remember the name. It's such a long name. Necrotic climactic explosion, I think. So it's a corpse spender for that, which can be pretty valuable as a standalone card. A 2 mana 3/2 taunt isn't great, but they power wolfed, or they power creeped on Frostwolf Grunt. How could they do that? What are they doing? Wait, they've done that countless times. Terrible basic card. But overall, I don't know. The hand buff cards aren't terrible, but it's all very situational. But at the end of the day, like, you're spending, let's say you have those 5 corpses and you're playing 2 mana, you get a 6/4 and taunt. It's not terrible. And you get, basically you get 2 corpses out of that back, right? Because they're not tokens, they're not risens. You get your tokens back, and yeah, you get the copy, so they'll retain the stats. It has a shot. It has a shot, particular rainbow. Maybe that hand buff stuff's worth it. You got Leroy Jenkins, although that's not an undead, so I guess it doesn't work. All the hand buff stuff, well, some of it's for undeads, not all of it, like the spell that switches from prior sets. I think that's Festival of Legends. But overall, I'll give it a 3, a very, very optimistic 3. I don't think it sees play, honestly, but I don't know, like, they're always looking for corpse spenders, and this could be a decent one. I think they're losing Malignant Horror, which is one of the better corpse spenders out there, so this might kind of take that slot. It's not as good as that, obviously, but regardless, I could see it happening, so I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in Standard, and I will give it a 2 in Wild, where Death Knight's not really a big threat there, and it's mostly just play Plagues to counter a lot of the Reno decks out there. Very similar to Standard right now. Next, we have a brand new Undead Quillbore, another Unholy card that really wants to get hand buffed. It is a 4 mana 2/4 Dark Thorn Quilter. At the end of your turn, deal this minion's attack damage randomly split among enemies. So this can go face, this can hit minions, and you really want to hand buff this or buff it on the board, as this is a constant effect. As long as this minion is on the board, it will deal that damage at the end of your turn. So you play this on 4. Let's say I played that new 1 mana spell and buffed it up by, like, I think you do +3/+3 on this, and then you deal like 5 at the end of your turn, every turn until they kill it. That's pretty good, and it's already buffed up in stats. That's a very effective card. This is a type of card that can actually make hand buffs work, where it's not only just a big minion, which it feels like in Hearthstone these days, every big minion just dies. You play anything, it dies. This does something where you automatically will deal that damage as long as it survived after you played it, right? So that's pretty effective, but it's a card that, as a standalone card, it's not worth it. 2 attack is not worth it. Like 2 damage, it for 4 mana, it will not make the cut. You need at least, I would say, 4, 5, 6 damage on this, and to reliably do that will be pretty hard, I think. So I'm kind of on the fence about it. Like, you get all that hand buff stuff going, this is a really good card, but if you can't, it's just useless. So you really need to get that going, or maybe you're playing the excavate stuff and you get like the ogre boulder fist with the boulder fist ogre location to make it a 6/7 right out the gate. That could be really good too. So there are some other ways to get around it. I'll give it a very optimistic 3. I don't know if hand buff's gonna work. Deathlight does not really need much help right now. Like Rainbow's so good, Plague's really good. It's not losing a lot. It's getting a ton of buffs with the rune changes on a lot of the existing cards already. So if all these Deathlight cards are pretty middling, I feel like Deathlight is still gonna be really good. And yeah, I'm not sure if this one really slots into any active decks right now. So a 2 in standard and wild, but, or sorry, yeah, 3 in standard and 2 in wild, but I do think it's probably more of a fringe, probably doesn't make it. But again, that hand buff stuff does work out. This is a menacing card that you got to try and deal with, and it is an undead, so you can like copy it and stuff too. There is those possibilities. And then the last card to review, the last card to be revealed. It's a card. It's a card. It's not that bad. It's a non-rune undead card, a 3-mana 3/3, a rainbow seamstress. It has battle cry. If your deck started with a blood, frost, or unholy card, gain lifesteal, reborn, or rush respectively. So I guess if you only have a blood card that started your deck, your triple blood, this card would just gain lifesteal. If you only have the frost, you would gain reborn, and unholy, I guess, rush, because it says respectively, not randomly. So basically, can we get a start of game effect for this as well for Reno, please? So I could actually try against plagues and they can't cycle their deck. I gotta keep mentioning that, but it is bothering me, and I do think it's a change that needs to be made. Anyways, yeah, so if you're playing Rainbow Decay, this is a 3-mana 3/3 life reborn, lifesteal, reborn, a rush card. That's insane. That's so good. It will not come back with those effects. You'll have a 3/3 with lifesteal, reborn, and rush. You'll deal 3, you'll heal, and then you'll get a 3/1 undead. It won't have, it's a battle cry, right? So it's not as insane as you might think, but it's still really good. You're getting you're gonna get 2 corpses out of the deal, because the reborn, it dies, you get the 2 deaths on it. That's really good. You get some healing, you get some removal. It seems like an absolute no-brainer for those rainbow decks. I don't know if you're going to play it in like plague is what, double unholy and frost. You could do that where you get reborn rush. It might be worth it there too, but absolutely awesome in rainbow. And you know, it's got rainbow in the name. There's a rainbow in the artwork. You know, it's meant for rainbow deathlight specifically, and I do think it will absolutely be a card you're going to want to play, but it might actually be worth running in some of those double rune decks. I could see it seeing play in multiple archetypes, so I will give it a 4 to 5 in standard. Rainbow, not really a thing in wild, at least not yet. I'll give it a 2 there. But it's also a card you can discover. It's an undead. So every undead I see now, I'm like, well, I can discover this with my Headless Horseman, which is pretty exciting. So there we go. Those are all the cards from Whizbang's workshop. References plenty. The set to me looks really fun. I'm very excited to try it out. We're gonna have our usual tier list of all the legendaries coming up pretty soon. There'll be patch notes for the expansion launch. Community days coming up on Monday. There'll be the rewards track refresh. That'll be all documented. We'll have the giveaway for rewards tracks when that goes live. We have so much content coming up, so stay tuned for all of that. Plus theory crafting next week will highlight a bunch of these new cards before they come out, and hopefully they do the arena thing where you can play new cards in the arena. Hopefully they do that. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.